And the second one is Zzan, ZSAN, which has news this morning, and it had popped up, consolidated for a couple days, and then here this kind of news headline and squeezing in the pre-market session. So on this one, I would watch it over the pre-market high of $21. So I've got my order ready there, and potential resistance, first target probably just 22.50, but potential resistance would be up at 25.70. A double top there, we could triple tap there today, and then we might fade off that level. So be mindful of that spot. So the two I'll be watching out of the gates are DXR and ZSAN, and then we'll just kind of see where we have momentum. We may get some surprise opportunities today because of all the momentum that we are seeing in the market. So just be willing to keep a close eye on that item almost. But right now, out of the gates, Zzan is the one I'm watching.
RSLS.
See if it sells off on this dip. And I'm going for a dip buy entry because typically we're seeing a good amount of buying there. I want to see it break over $21.
GEMP.
There's 21.13. See, this is kind of interesting. You can see it's not stopped out for $188 loss. It hit that 21 spot and hit a high of 21.45, but didn't hold. And that again is an example where in the IRA I can't afford that type of trade, right? I just can't afford the loss there. Not acceptable. So that one needs to pull back for a little bit. Whether or not it'll hold up, I'm not sure, but if I see a good 5-minute setup, I'd be interested in that, and I might do a red to green move on it, but right now it's going to be out of play just because of that drop. So 21 we'll keep on watch. So DXR also dipping down here to 1572.
AMTX. AMTX, FLKS, RIBT, AMTX, 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 AMTLGT, AMTLGT, TLGT, TLGT.
SGRP, not really sure about that. The sort of the dip drop down and then pop back up. DELT, I agree with John. I don't like that chart.
AMTX, 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 AMTX. AMTX, 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 AMTX. REDU, REDU,
Seed testing pre-market high of 39.
AMTX, 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 AMTX. AMTX, 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 AMTX. Seed, 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 seed. Seed, seed. KGJI. Seed, seed.
Zuzan breaking the bear flag to the downside.
AMTX, 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 seed, AMTX, seed.
AMTX, the high is 65. Have to watch a little pullback.
Kids.
So AMTX, I would say maybe back over 60. I'm long AMTX at 60, or 57, and I'll add at 65 for high day break.
AMTX.
Added on AMTX at 65 for high day break. This is a 1 minute micro pullback here. Mind target 70. Maybe 75.
AMTX, AMTX, AMTX.
So we tapped 70 for $522 with 10,000 shares. There's a 40,000 share seller at 170. We'll need to see that guy move. Yeah, AMTX, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll see if I can add them. It was giving me a hard time before.
KBSF, KBSF.
Yeah, red to green move on KBSF. The high 818. That pulled back 1 minute pull back at 38 was probably the one.
KBSF. KBSF.
KBSF continuing a little higher. So the high on KBSF is 861. I would watch it, for any good 1 minute pullbacks.
KBSF.
I'm long KBSF for a scalp over the highs. Maybe over 75, I would add on KBSF. See what it does here. The entry was a $0.50 break, which is a little extended. Stopped out at 50. I was able to sell 3/4 at 69, so $800 profit.
GEVO.
KBSF high is 74. So that's a level to watch. High of this 853.
GEVO. GEVO.
Some sellers at 830. Zizan is curling up a little bit. We'll see if it is able to hold above the 20 moving average.
XBIO. AMTX. AMTX.
Nine.
AMTX. 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 ALNA. AMTX. 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 ALNA. AMTX. 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 CASM, CASM. AMTX,
You see
AMTX,
AMTX here.
AMTX,
Long AMTX for scalp.
AMTX, AMTX.
This is just sort of little scalp setups. I got in at 199.
NYND.
The high is now 218 or so. Stop is 199 on the rest. So high is 218, so now over 218 I would add, if it holds up, nope, stopped out, added like $200 profit.
AMTX, AMTX,
Nice on KBSF.
AMTX.
So this one just tapped 22. Have to wait for a good setup now though. Probably gonna take a few minutes.
CASM.
So high is 22. Possible scalp.
AMTX, 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 AMTX.
Thing is, it's
AMTX, AMTX,
I don't know.
AMTX.
Kind of watching. I'd like to get a little safer entry, but it keeps kind of squeezing a little bit. 22 isn't really the best entry. It's just buying for. You can make money on that, but your downside risk, if it does a false breakout, is 10 cents.
AMTX, 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 AMTX. AMTX, AMTX, AMTX.
So the high is now 35.
AMTX,
AMTX. All we can really 45, anticipating the break of the $0.50 with a target of 55. Let it pull back. High is 43. It needs to squeeze about 25 cents in 1 minute to get halted. Pretty much it needs to go in 1 minute. So we may not see that, but now watch it back over 40. Probably 38. See, no, there's a quick little dip down to 23. Might not be quite ready. High of the last candle is 38, so over 38 would be a spot to watch. Scalp to the long side.
AMTX,
Long 38 for the high day break.
AMTX.
There's the high, 48, 49. Sold half at 49. Stop is now 40 on the rest. Stopped out the rest. The $400 winner with 7,500 shares. There's just closer to 700. Well, I was taking profit up 10 cents, which in this price range you usually want to do because you don't always see 30, 40 cent moves. This is a little on the cheaper side. So 10 cents is a good profit with 7,500 shares. So I take a little profit and then I just watch taking profit. Then I take profit usually when I start to see it slow down a little bit. And it seemed like it was getting a little heavy at the $0.50. So I'd put an order at 250 now for the next scalp.
Kerr. Ox brew.
So that closed down as a red candle. Thing with KBSF is that it pulled back below the VWAP, which I think is a little too weak. Kodak 5-cent tick.
NVCN.
RXII popping up a little bit. Probably have to wait on a pullback setup. Yesterday's high was
IFMK.
676.
RXII. IFMK.
High the last 5 on AMTX is 32. I'm long 28 on AMTX for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. And I would add on this over 40. So I'm going to put an order at 45 to add on AMTX and be aggressive. So I think there's a good chance we see a break over the $0.50. So just watching this right now for an add. Got my order ready to add. I'm thinking probably the add spot is going to have to be the $0.50.
IFMK.
That way I'm already up a decent amount when I add. Stopped out. Only added like $100. Stopped out basically break even. I should have just taken the 10 cents when I had it. High is 45. I'll keep my order ready at 45 to get back in.
RXII.
The problem with, where I stopped out at 32, it could have just as easily dropped to 25, and then I'm down $300 with 7,500 shares. So it was the right thing to do to stop out. The fact that it popped back up and is holding here is good. Okay, I added at 40, and I would add again at 45, looking for the break over the $0.50.
AMTX.
Just added at 45. Sold at 52. So I'm up $2,435 now.
ZX.
That was kind of the profit target, a high a day. So now I'm not as interested right now for a little bit.
ZX. 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 Yeah, let's see. Actually, yeah, green on all trades today. No. I was red on Zzan. That was my first trade. I was red on that one. Average winners on AMTX have been pretty small, though, averaging only about 4-cent winners. So I'm green on the 5 trades I've taken on it, but we're not seeing big winners. AMTX, it would be the third 5-minute pullback, so I think at this point I probably wouldn't go for it. I prefer taking just the first 2.
KZIA.